Nwite has dabbled into ADC matters. It is a hatchet job he's doing to destroy the ADC. Ume. Senator representing Anambra Central, Senator Victor Ume has accused Federal High Court Judge Justice Emeka Nwite of violating the Electoral Act by intervening in the internal affairs of the African Democratic Congress. You think he's doing it of his own volition? Somebody must have given him that order now to do that. To be intervening in the internal affairs of ADC. You think he's doing it because he wants to do it? They gave him the order. You know that there are people that are controlling the Federal High Courts, controlling almost all our courts in Nigeria. So they are the ones that must have told him, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. The ones that are building houses for them. They are the ones that give them instruction that, this is what you should do. That is why they are doing it. Speaking in an interview with Channel TV, Ume cited a specific legal provision to back his claim, saying Section 83, Subsection 5 of the institution says it's not right to do that. Okay? This is what that it says no court in Nigeria, and when it says no court, it includes the Supreme Court shall entertain any suit that borders on the international affairs of political parties. Now Justice Nwite has obviously dabbled into ADC matters. It is a hatchet job he is doing to destroy the ADC. His brother judges know that this is forbidden and you cannot do that, and many judges are doing the right thing. He pointed to a contrasting example within the same judiciary, noting that Justice Joyce Abdulmalik of the Federal High Court in Abuja had correctly declined jurisdiction over all political party leadership disputes, with her rulings available for public scrutiny, and that's how it's meant to be. Why are you putting your mouth in political parties matter and telling them, they should not do this, they should not do that? Why? He argued that the judiciary must now act decisively to discipline judges who disregard the law. For where? Who go discipline them? And questioned how lower court judges should continue entertaining cases that even the Supreme Court is expressly barred from hearing. You can imagine that even Supreme Court can't do that, but you, Federal High Court, you are doing it. This is what Tochukwu says. I really don't understand why learned friends like judges with criminally minded politicians manipulate them to their advantage, knowing fully well that there are no criminals all over the world. These are things that call for revolution, and when it happens, judges won't be left out of the calamity. I pray they have more sense. Be honest and be careful. Time is ticking to the D-Day. Guru Christopher says Tinubu disciples have separated all the whole parties to cause confusion. Okay? Equal Sam says blame 95% northern parents who don't want to send their children to school. Rather than frustrate them in the street by selling pure water. That one even better. Or turning them into beggars. Beggars in the streets, that's what they do. Are the children that turn to insurgency today? Akilabu says, even when you people decide to steal a party built by some people and you think those people won't go to court, according to how did they steal the party? I beg, let's hear what they stole the party. We stole. And according to the electoral law, court can intervene if a party violates its own constitution. The ADC Constitution 2002 says the NEC and the NWC are constituted through democratic process, permanent congresses and national convention, and those to be elected, not appointed, must have used 2 years as members. Which of these did they comply with? Now, Olabode says, why are these APC data boys concerned about another party? I wonder, what's your business? Do your own, let them do their own. Let's say they stole a political party. How did they steal it? If their so-called leaders and presidents are not the sponsors of the discord into ADC, we Nigerians are wiser than this, your wives. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. Tochukwu also says, go and sit down. You enable and aid crooks to govern us. Just look at the mess we find ourselves in this country now. Goats. Don't mind them. Ibikole says, you are just an irresponsible elder for saying this rubbish when the nation expects honest reconciliation comments from you. So anybody going against your interests must be sacrificed. even if the man is saying the truth. Finish on the talk. Ubichoma says, Umi is like a poor workman, always quarreling with his tools. If you don't like the judge's ruling, the decent thing to do is to go upstairs instead of talking like a typical ADC loser. You should go upstairs. Which upstairs? I beg. Emeka said, where did you borrow the name from? Our people don't speak ill of elders, I'm telling you. Says, why should party be going to court? I wonder. Chukwuma says it's a judicial talk and not a judge. It is the corrupt system that we have that allowed him to enter the temple of justice. Otherwise, he has no business being on the bench. Chukwudi says, Nwite na wicked man. Now, obviously, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Chimeze said, what do you expect from a very useless judge? Most of those judges, they are talking on the orders of the people that put them there, the people that are feeding them, the people that are building houses for them. They can't do otherwise. Exactly. Isaac Sunday says, Zume, you are unstable like your ADC leaders at your age. You allow small children to be pushing you up and down. Which one be small children? Hey, it is just, Silvana says, Tinubu came to destroy this country with Nigeria Judiciary, but God will answer him soonest. Amen. Toshiko says, Tinubu, did you know that 4 years will come so soon? Try. Nothing lasts forever. Power is temporary. See now. It's almost 2027, and that is why he wants to do more. That's why he wants to do another tenure to make us suffer. Fairly Sadiqa said, why is it that nobody is taking APC to court? Even if you want to take APC to court, who is the owner of the court? Right now, who is the owner of the court? It's APC that owns the court now. If you take APC to court, you're just wasting your time and wasting your money. Because what's the point? Even if anyone has the guts, the judge will quickly stroke out the case to save his career. Oh, you already know. Chinedin Joko says, what is expected of judges was to throw away any political party's internal disputes and ask them to resolve it using their internal dispute mechanism instead of giving judgments that will be seen to be political. Yeah, exactly. And tell them to go and resolve their issues. You are judging and giving them what to do. This is what they should do. This is what they should not do. Olushola said that provision is inviting anarchy at the least. Although there is also a provision which he deliberately didn't mention. Okay. Danji Mamalo says, you mean that the court should not intervene even if the party violates its own rule? Which own rule? Which own rule, I beg? James says, thank God Justice Nwite is from the east. Let's keep watching. Probably if it was from the southwest, they would have been saying, is there this person, blah, 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 but it's an Igbo, so it is, well, my listeners, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.